All right, so here I am early in the morning working on my home init again. So I just want to summarize what we're going to do today really quickly before you watch the whole video so you don't get bogged down. It doesn't mean I'm going to do this. This means this is the plan at the beginning of the video. If you want to go to the end of the video and see what we ended up doing or look in the comments, then you can know what we did. But this is the plan. So I've decided to use SSH as a primary distribution configuration RPC method because of the whole agentless thing with Ansible. And we'll get to why I'm okay with Ansible again later here. This means that I'm going to go ahead and build Bonzai agent. So if you don't know about Bonzai, go look it up. But my Bonzai agent was originally going to use GPG or mTLS gRPC to talk and put agent-based configuration management and benevolent botnet kind of stuff so that I could own subnets, including my own, and do stuff on them concurrently. But I've decided after looking at lots of applications that do the same thing to build in OpenSSH into my applications using the standard SSH libraries from Go, which are second to none. They are absolutely fantastic. So you can basically turn any running daemon into an SSH server with its own commands. It can be 100% compatible with just any SSH client out there. And that plays really nice with Ansible, which is all agentless for the most part. It's not completely, I found out, but it also depends on SSH. So SSH is king, and that's all I'm going to say about that. I talked about this a little bit yesterday during QCA, but I am not ever. I mean, CoreDNS is going to be the thing that we're going to be installing here. So let's see. So yeah, I'm going to put installing cloud, install CoreDNS redundantly on. Yeah, well, anyway, I'm kind of jumping the gun. This should probably be down here. Let me put this down here. That's what we can talk about later. So the order is kind of out of whack there. NSLookup isn't even the thing to use anymore. Neither is dig, believe it or not. I don't care if they use it to resolve it. If they use Google or Cloudflare, that's up to them if they're idiots. Right? I would rather actually pick a different DNS provider. If anybody knows one, we're jumping ahead here, but if anybody knows a DNS provider that's not a dumbass provider like Google that tracks all your DNS, or Cloudflare that is down all the time, including yet another time on 2022 when the whole fucking internet went dark again because they keep going down. So I'm just going to complain about it right now, but I think centralization of DNS lookups on the internet, and not to mention, three cloud providers that the entire world runs off of, is a really bad thing for humanity. If you think it's fine, go ahead and use it. I'm not using it in my lab, but that's why. So I am going to go ahead and install Ansible Workstation on Anton, Ansible into my workstation VM on Anton, which is running on Windows, which is a Ubuntu server running on Windows. That's what you're looking at right now. I video blog about that all the time. So people ask me, why are you running Windows? And then that's why, because I can use a VM anytime, anywhere, and I can stream better. And I mean, all the software just works, and I can game. Can't do that with Linux desktop. Sorry. You can't. You just can't. Anybody who says differently has never tried to use SolidWorks on Linux, for example, or God, even the latest OBS plugins. So Quad at 9 DNS, never heard of it. What about it? I'm going to put that in the notes. Quad 9 DNS. I'm going to put that in the notes, so I'll make sure to research that. If there is another DNS provider that's not shitty, I might be willing to look at it. I'm not using AWS, GCP, or Azure. Same thing, same reason, centralization. Recursive service for free security, high privacy. What? You're my new best friend. You sound. Are we sure about this, or could they be saying that just to make us? Could they be saying that to troll us to get on their system? On N8N, I don't know what that is. Including Quad 9. You shared a list, including your list up above. All right, let's do that. free and public DNS servers. Okay, let's go to that. Let's go check that out too. Y'all are very helpful. Thank you. Actually, we already have a links up. So this is the Cloudflare outage, and then you can go read about it. I linked to it in the show notes. I'm not going to go do that again. But here, let's go look at this one. Best free and public LifeWire. Tim Fisher, Vice President General Manager. Ooh, yay. OpenDNS Home, Cloudflare, CleanMirror, Alternate DNS, AdGuard DNS. Huh. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. I'll put that in the links there for best public and free internet services. It's going pretty good. Hey, Zardis. See that right? So there, I mean, this is why I stream this shit, because then people can come watch it and they can say you're doing it wrong, or tell me about other links like that. So thank you for that. I'll go look at those. For right now, I'm just going to use my DNS from my I actually would like more control of it than maybe my DNS, my provider through, maybe my provider through my ISP is brain dead and they're using Cloudflare as well. And so, yeah, it might be that I want to use one of these other ones, instead. So I will be looking at those. Yeah, I know. Later. I mean, I'm just kind of putting my plans out here. I am going to pick Ansible. People are like, why the change? Why are you using Ansible? I thought you hated Ansible. I do hate Ansible. I really do. I hate how drippy with like corporate marketing it is. It's just horrible. But I don't care. It's the thing that everybody's using. It's SSH based. It's got lots of recipes. It has a really big handhold in the industry, and everybody uses it. So I'm not a joiner when something's bad enough to not make, but the discovery that I could use that I could use SSH as a built-in agent within my Bonzai agent actually led me to kind of go that route, because then my agents will be compatible with people who want to use Ansible as well as those who don't, and then I can end up writing my Bonzai botnet and my Bonzai agent to work with it. Because it is by far agentless through SSH, which has tons of flaws. There's a million reasons to not do that. A million reasons you might want to have your own. You like the boost? Nice, thank you. The reason that I want to be able to have agents as an option is because I want to put stuff in there that can be done concurrently, that can't be managed through SSH by itself. And the Ansible just like dies on. And by the way, Ansible does have several playbooks that depend on some form of an agent being installed on the endpoint. So the idea that the Ansible is completely agentless is a lie. I've read that, so it does use it sometimes. So that means it's okay for my Bonzai agent to have an SSH built into it, but it'll also do other things that are invoked through the single call to SSH, which can be encapsulating a command that's embedded into an endpoint that I install on my devices, such as, for example, Raspberry Pi or Android. I mean, I could not Android. I could install. Well, yeah, Android, Arduino. There's a ton of devices that I can run compiled Go code on that don't have SSH agents currently, and I can build SSH into agents that run on those devices, and I can manage those through Ansible or through whatever I want. So that is why I decided to go with Ansible. I would like to be able to have a single source of botnet management, and that means owning devices that can have software put on them that don't even have full Linux kernels on them, but they do have IP stacks like Android. Not Android. I keep saying that. Like Arduino. And we do have a bunch of Arduino devices that I would like to be able to control. And I'm super interested to see if I can even get TinyGo on there. I don't know. It's ways down the line, but there's a possibility that I can get Arduino devices that have TCP IP stacks on them that can run compiled software, firmware, and I can actually write firmware for them that's flashed from TinyGo firmware that has SSH built into the stack. Yeah, I don't know. The binaries are probably going to be too big for that. So if they are, well, I mean, that's a long ways down the line. But I would really like to be able to manage smaller devices, IoT devices, using SSH and Ansible. And so we're gonna see, you know, how small can you go with that kind of stuff. And that might actually be one of the first forays I make into Rust, because Rust does have like wicked small binaries that could make some really good firmware, if that's a thing that we can do. And I know Rust is used for firmware as well as Go. So I just don't want to lock myself into course. So bottom line, I've thought through that, eventually wanting to be able to do that, and I'm not going to hit any roadblocks there as far as I can see. You found embedded SSH? Nice. Thank you. So, I mean, if for no other reason, you know where I'm coming from when I make these decisions, and I can talk through them. Small footprint for memory. Yeah. This assumes you have a kernel, though, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, compiled into single binary. Yeah, so you can compile into a single binary, like, this is another reason too, is BusyBox does have SSH built in. So that's another thing. I could run BusyBox agents, I can run containers, and I can manage those with Ansible or SSH, you know, anything that runs SSH. But yeah, is it C? I imagine it's C. This is probably C, because it's like really tiny. Yeah, multi-hop uses SSH. Drop bear, MKJ drop bear. MKJ drop bear. Just go look at it for a second. Yep. Nice C program, traditional C program with auto config. Configure autogen. Do they have autogen here? Autoconf, I mean. This is OpenWRT. Nice. Configure. Yeah. Is it autoconf? I can't remember which one comes first. Autoconf. I'll have to go. We're not going to do it right now. I can't remember the steps. It's usually autogen configure make install. But whatever. Yeah, very cool. Put that down here. SSH. Is either missing? Oh, did it? Yeah, I did. I'm not gonna do it. That's why I just need to get Conan the compiler. Do you use Conan the Conan Docker container to build that stuff? It's really good. You guys know about that? Conan the container. It's designed for C coding, C compilation and stuff, and you just pull the artifacts out of it. That's how I redid my tmux build and got rid of the lines and stuff. Install Ansible Workstation, figure out how to best organize a collection of Homelab Ansible recipes. Create a copy Ansible playlist in CoreDNS. I already found one for CoreDNS installation. I need to, for example, mono repo or what. I need to figure that out. I need to talk to people who already done their stuff for this. I already argued about why not use Cloudflare. What about consider alternative DNS providers that instead of ISP, which might be using Cloudflare or Google without us knowing. Run Ansible playbook to install CoreDNS. Okay. So I actually would really like to get to that point, but I know it's going to be slow going because I'm going to do it, you know, doing all this other stuff. So first thing is I need to do is I need to get Ansible on here. I'll put this, I'll change this to our log. So here, this is ops Ansible CoreDNS, which has a clarifier DNS and all that stuff in it. I don't know anything about Ansible at all. I mean, I know a little bit about it, but not enough. So I'm going to go through just the Ansible installation right now. And, you know what, let's go back to this one. And change this to be log for okay, and let's go make this inject DNS records with the name automatically to be not suitable. Yeah, some do. They definitely do. Yep. And they track you as well, just like anybody else. So that's the real question. You know, it's like DNS is one of the best ways to track somebody. It's like look up what DNS stuff they look up from the home. I mean, if you really want to completely violate the privacy of an entire organization, just look up everything, all the DNS records that they look up. You know, you can't hide that. There's no way to hide it. There's encrypted DNS now, or TLS DNS, but DNS is still one of the main vulnerabilities out there, and it has really good uptime, which have 1 or 2 outages a week, basically. Really? Well, and that's what LBG was saying. How do you know your Cloudflare is, you know, less reliable, more reliable than your local DNS lookups? Maybe they're not even working. Maybe they're not up. You know. So DNS continues to be like a pain in the side of every IT architect out there. So this will be interesting. I'm actually super interested to look at one of the alternatives that might use some of the new technology for encryption. As you saw in that playbook, there are options in CoreDNS to use encryption, the new DNS that has encryption, which I might want to do. I don't know. We're gonna look. So here you go. CoreDNS forward TLS server name. Yeah. Also old. Yes. So DNS TLS forwarder. Right now it's set to false. It would slow down your lookups and stuff. DOH is a shame. I don't know what that is. What is DOH DNS? DNS over HTTPS. You don't think it works? As an internet security protocol communicates DNS, at least by IT enables DNS protocol. You don't think it's worth it? I mean, I don't know if I care. It does put some overhead on it in DNS lookups. Everybody knows it's one of the slow parts of a system. So you probably can encrypt domain, traffic DNS pass through it. Yeah. DNS Tech Review Advisor. I'm going to add that to the list. So determine if DNS over HTTP is worth it. Is it DNS over HTTPS? What's the other one? Yeah. What is the other one? DOH. DNS to Center Cloudflare. Wow. DOT is DNS over TLS. Oh yeah, that's the one I want. Determine if over TLS is worth it, and result of DNS authorities. Are you like DOT better? Yeah. DOT DNS. Infobox. IATF standard. Put that in the notes. 2016. Well, they're both specified in IATF. I just read that, but yeah. I mean, we're kind of jumping the gun on that, but I do want to talk about that. So since you're talking about it, so transportation security ladder or IRITF standard, connection between DNS and DNS server. So from last mile security problems, yes, absolutely, it's what we're talking about. Communication between DNS and DNS servers are almost always unencrypted, subject to spoofing, interception, and more. I would actually like to avoid this. DNS over TLS is documented in blah. I don't need to know how it works. I just know it sounds like that's what people are using. Interesting. Okay, so that resource is on file. We can go back and read that. It's in our notes or log notes. Yeah, we're gonna jump back to Ansible. So we're gonna do some Ansible installation here. Anyway, CoreDNS is set up, and this Ansible playlist developed by this person is set up to enable TLS. So that sounds like CoreDNS does support it. Let's actually answer that question. Whoops, let's do this. Does CoreDNS support DOT? DNS asserts this document supports CoreDNS plus TLS certificates for DOT, DOH, and gRPC. Interesting. All right. Well, that would be a yes. So we're good to go there. All right, back to getting Ansible on here. I should just close this one. There we go. So we need to get Ansible on here. Make directory. I'm going to make separate notes for Ansible because reasons. I hate that this is owned by Red Hat, but whatever. So I'm going to put some stuff in here to help myself. These are just my own notes. So Ansible installation, I think it's just a thing we could do. Links A, install Ansible. Let's go look here. Install Ansible control node requirements. Using Ansible, contribute to Ansible. So this is a control node, right? Install Ansible into VMware Workstation control node. Sounds like that's what they call it. So Ansible is an agentless automation tool that's used a single host. I'm going to read this, as annoying as it is. Ansible can manage an entire fleet of machines and the devices referred to as managed nodes remotely with SSH, PowerShell, remote, or numerous other transports. Install Ansible. Fuck that. Do I have to install it with pip? Do I have to install pip? Ugh, I fucking hate pip. I fucking hate pip. Do you have any idea how much pain and suffering most of us went through when Python couldn't figure out what the fuck it wanted to do for distribution? It's one of the things that they still haven't figured out. They finally got behind pip, but there was like 10 different ways to, like, there was no centralized repository for it. Source-based release distro. I'm not going to use pip if I can avoid it. Run a source-based rolling release. You're running Nix, right, Ryan? Yeah. It sounds like the official documentation is pip, though, which I fucking hate. Oh, Gentoo? Okay. Have fun compiling. I would never run Gentoo in my home lab. Never in a million years. Your cred just shot to the toilet. All right. Have fun with that. Okay. Ansible's agent automation. I mean, I love Gentoo, don't get me wrong, for like making specialized distros and stuff, but for a home lab, people give me shit for not running Linux on the desktop. I can't imagine running Gentoo on my desktop. Oh my god. And your Raspberry Pi SPI is similar to what it is just work. Yes. Ansible. A million other reasons. I did a whole thing on Red Hat. It's in my QCA. Yeah, if you go back through my questions, conversations, and advice playlists and look through, and you might be able. It might be indexed already. You can see why. Oh, hey, the obligatory Temple OS joke. It always happens. It's not funny. We've heard it 1,000 times. Cheers. So. Let's see, and numerous other transports are all from a simple command line interface with no database or data. Control node requirements. God, I hope it's not bad. For control nodes, you can nearly use any Unix machine with Python 3.8. Shit. I need to do Python. Is it -v 3.10? Okay. All right. OpenGR 2.0. Very cool. Have fun with that. I would rather do stuff instead of play with my desktop. Where are the Emacs jokes? Emacs OS jokes? Oh yeah. That's usually another set of jokes. Windows without WSL is not natively supported on control node. That data's blog post from. If you're running WSL2 at this point, I cannot help you. You have made your own unwise choices, and you're responsible for them. Any Emacs history while searching for coding? Nice. Bonus break. Nice to find you. ID operations. That's really cool. I am normally not streaming at this time. I'm going to try, though. I'm going to try to start streaming really early again and going to bed earlier, like at 10 o'clock or something, because I just get more stuff done. Selecting Ansible package with, just to know, everybody who's watching this, you're getting recorded for YouTube. So I just got to put that out there. So it's 11:42. Oh geez. So you're in the your workday. Yeah. Yeah. I actually like streaming during the European workday because honestly, Americans, I'm really sorry, but you suck compared to the input I get from Europeans. There, I said it. The percentage of positive input, feedback, and participation from the European community compared to the American community is way higher. It's another reason I want to start streaming at this time. I'm sorry. I'm reporting facts to you. I'm not saying that we're bad. I'm just saying, and those are fighting words. People are going to yell at me. I know. Also have to talk softer because I have to talk softer. I'm getting all excited. talking really loud. I'm gonna wake up the neighbors upstairs. I think they're already up because he goes to work at like 5 a.m. or something. Are they just running a VM somewhere? Yes, 8 p.m. in Australia. Oh, so we are in Australian. Yeah, European and Australia time is like, there are so many people that are included in that list. I want to stream during this time. In fact, I have just made a decision. I have made a decision to make this my new Homelab streaming time, because this is prime time in the areas that are amazing. And all of Silicon Valley is asleep, thank God. It's a joke. It's a joke, everybody. It's a joke. Don't get freaked out. All the Silicon Valley web script kiddies are asleep because we don't work and put Twitch on. Well, yeah, because you shouldn't. I do because, you know, I try to anyway. Full-time infrastructure manager for a non-evil core. Elevator pitch. What do I do exactly? You have to read my about it. I'm not gonna fill you in right now. I have a docs command. I'm doing stuff. I gotta look away from the screen chat right now. Please don't be offended when I don't answer your stuff right away. This is a YouTube video, so I don't want to spend it wasting people's time. But look at the schedule. If you're new Cal, you can see the schedule. I keep the schedule up to date as best I can. There is a very, very late for you QCA that I do every day. Coming out of AU lately. Oh my God, there's some fantastic people, and this includes, by the way, all of Spain and Portugal. There's great streamers in Spain and Portugal as well. There's actually good streamers in Brazil. There's a lot of really great streamers in Brazil. I wish I support Portuguese because there's some great tech streaming happening from Brazil as well. India is covered by this time zone. I mean, there's just so many good people that are, you know, the good content at this time, good people to watch and good. So, and look, Americans are going to scream at me for saying this. I don't care. I'm just telling you my observations. As that when I was streaming in the early morning hours, which I did for almost a full year, because I was like mixing. I don't have a gray beard. I do have a gray beard, but I'm not that. Anyway, did I put a command on gray beard? I have a commands list too. So okay. Anyway, let's keep going. Gray hat. Yeah, I don't even know if I have gray hat. Some of those commands are not done. They were hopeful. They were ambitious, and I wanted to make commands for everything. I still do, but I don't have a lot of them done right now. I'll get to them eventually. Yeah, you can go read all of my commands. They're all listed if you want. And then you can go to my YouTube and all those other places. It's funny because we're getting a lot of new. This is kind of fun because it seems like a bunch of people from the European time zone Asia European time zone have just found me today, and that's good. But I've had people from this time zone say, "Oh my God, you're streaming," so whatever. For the control node that runs Ansible, you can run Unix like machine Python 8. Got it. Searching Ansible package version install. I distributed 2 ways: minimalist language and runtime package called Ansible Core. And a much larger batteries included package called the Ansible, which has a curated list. So it is Python that we have to install. Curated selection of Ansible collections for automating a wide variety of devices. Choose a package that fits your needs. I'm going to write an installer for this, as I tend to do, because it just helps me remember what I'm doing. What the hell? I'm not building from source. Installing, locating Python, assure pip is available, installing Ansible. And they want us to use pip, so I'm going to use pip, I guess. No, you're not distracting me. I like breaks on occasion, but I have to turn back. Oh, I fucking hate virtual environments. I fucking hate pip and I hate Python virtual environments. Those are the two main reasons I hate Python. The fact that you can't cross compile and you have to install that shit. I fucking hate Python. I used to love it. I loved it for 5 years. I taught it. And after using Go, I just don't even want to look at it anymore. Anyway, it doesn't matter what I want. I have to do it anyway. So cd into scripts, install Ubuntu. Install Ansible. Hey, look, I have one already. Add repository, add PPA. Ansible and Go. They should have made it in Go. In fact, I've been seriously thinking about writing a completely 100% Ansible playbook compatible version of Ansible in Go that's 100% open source instead of owned by Red Hat. Because I believe in it, and I think, but there's really no reason, because at least you're using SSH, you know. There's some active mods. Yeah. I already have active mods. I just don't have any mods right now. Do you want to be a mod, Ryan? All right, Ryan, you're officially a mod if you're up at this time. I just randomly added a whole bunch of mods once upon a time. Because at this hour, though, I don't have a lot of mods. All right, so I know. I figured you were one of these Americans. For me, it's like, I know he's such his life. It's look, I'm not attacking Americans, right? I'm just making an observation. I already have an installer for Ansible, it appears. So you see what I'm saying? I already have an Ansible install, and this is not using pip. So guess what? Pip can go fuck itself. Are we far enough along in the YouTube stream that I can use swear words? Don't put me on the work TV. I warned you. I tried to be suitable for work. I even said so in my playlist notes. But no, it's not going to happen. Because of Ansible, it depends on Python. Yes. Exactement, Ryan. Hey, Jay, how are you doing? Hello from France. Ça va bien? Je parle français un petit peu, si vous voulez. Ouais. J'ai vécu là pendant quelques temps. J'ai servi une mission religieuse pour les Mormons au département d'Outre-mer, la Martinique, le Guadeloupe, tout ça. J'aimerais bien y aller un jour, c'est-à-dire en France, quelque part, là-bas. All right. Install Ansible. I think I may have it already. We're going to see. Hey, look, it's installing Ansible, and I just had to run my installer. I am a huge fan of putting your own personal installers in your dot files, because sometimes you're going to want to use packages, sometimes you're not, sometimes you just want to go get stuff. And so that's a big thing for me. I have in my scripts directory, I have install, and I maintain these things. Kazakhstan, это отлично. Вы по-русски говорите, я надеюсь, да? Вот почему я вам только что сказал, вот почему я стримирую, какой это глагол? Стрим, какой глагол это склоняется? Скажи, пожалуйста, как это сказать? To stream по-русски, как это? Anyway, if I stream during European times, I get to use my Russian and French. No Dutch, not yet. God damn, I wish I had it. I love languages. Installing Ansible, preparing kernel. Вы молодец. Спасибо. Стримлять, это глагол, да? Стримлять. Трудно произносить, но все равно. That was a hard one to say. I'm trying to figure out what the verb for stream is in Russian. Pip install Dutch lang. Dayloop, I missed you. See, this is why I gotta start streaming at this time. This is my favorite time to stream. Seriously, the people that are here at this time, yeah, they стремить. Стремить. С мягким знаком. Да. Ну ладно. Спасибо. Спасибо большое. See, I can get a language lesson while I'm trying to do my YouTube thing. Use pip about possible scanning Linux images, pending kernel images. Your newer kernel available. What the hell? Restarting the system to load a new kernel. I don't want to do that. No. Damon's using outdated libraries. I'm so sorry. Network manager.service. Am I still using network manager on Ubuntu? I didn't think. I thought you used NetPlan. Oh well. I don't want to restart anything. I don't. Right. RAP or YouTube video. Yeah, people are they're gonna leave it right away. Yeah, it's still here, and I did swear a couple times, and I did speak different languages, and people are gonna cancel me because I know Russian. They're gonna think, "Are you supporting the war?" And I'm like, "No, I speak Russian. I don't want to get political." All right, let's keep going. So apparently Ansible is on here. See? Yep. Installing Ansible. Installing Ansible. All right, I'm going to I have my installer. It's not your fault. No, it's not your fault at all. It's not your fault. There's no blame here. I prefer not to install pip if I can help it. I detest Python package management with a deep, abiding hatred. and always have. So, based on that, say install Ubuntu Ubaba. Copy install Ubuntu. Wait, install Ansible to temp buff. This is my little magical secret. PPP, and it just prints my buff right there. A little shortcut I have going on there. Shell. And so that's what we'll use instead. You are so funny. Y'all are so funny. Yes. There we go. Okay. Broken Japanese. Man, I wish. Thank you for... Hello, Japanese. I love Japan. Usually this hour I'm watching like Rob CD or somebody doing Japanese stuff. But these days I'm coding. Not coding, but, you know, doing things. Extremely in the terminal and the terminal. Well, if you want to know how, go watch the boost. We talk about everything that we're doing in the terminal. And I will that is a little bit of a plug. So I've been using terminal my whole life. I don't think there's anything. People ask me what a window manager is, and I say Tmux. And they're like, "That's not a window manager." I'm like, "Oh yeah, oh yeah." Okay, so we've got our install done. So Ansible is now installed. Oh, then the boost is made for you. I started a company in 2013 called SkillStack to help beginners because nobody was doing it. And it since has kind of morphed and evolved into this Twitch stream. From within the terminal. Yeah, well, I mean, people think it's for old people. And I'm like, okay, have fun with that. I'll get 3 times, 10 times the shit done while you fuck around with your graphic user interface. I don't have to judge them. I just don't want to be them. All right. So Ansible, what are we going to do next? Organizing playbooks. God, I hate the name, the moniker, we'll call it. Why the fuck bring American sports metaphors into this? All right, where's my hate emoji again? Devil. No, vomit. I can do vomit. 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 There we go. This is my personal notes. You don't have to judge me. These are not designed to be read by professionals at work. These are designed to be read by Homelab people. I do have a ton of fucking opinions. You don't have to agree with my opinions, but it may be inefficient to use a terminal. Okay, run along now. Have fun. I mean, go play in your GUI. Go play in your sandbox with your kindergarten toys. Yeah, that was a shitty thing to say. I apologize. Okay, so organizing playbooks. I hate playbooks. I complain. All I did is complain about playbooks. Okay, now let's actually set up a playbook, shall we? Setting up Ansible playbook mono repo. Hey, look at this. All my search history is in my command line history as well. There's an entire 4-hour video on how to do that in my boost. Then I can go back and do the same search history. Yeah. It depends. You have to spend more time in Vim than that to actually learn it. Just like you can't play the violin in like 2 weeks. In this post, we're going to make a few basic Ansible modules to build a playbook. Before you begin, let me give you. There's stuff already about this. I've written tons of stuff about this. I'm not gonna cover it again. It's better than Nano. For Ansible documentation, Ansible is an IT. Take a few basic Ansible modules to build a playbook. We're going to give you a quick introduction to Ansible, why it's a popular automation tool. All right, we're going to add this to my my notes. So that's now in my markdown notes. Ansible is I just got something from work. I wonder what it is. What time is it? Oh wow, look at that. Thank you for the sub. Ansible is an IT automation tool that can configure systems, deploy software, and orchestrate more advanced IT tasks such as continuous deployment and zero downtime rolling. Ansible's main goals are simplicity and ease of use. It also has a strong focus on security and reliability, featuring a minimum of moving parts. Open usage. I know this stuff already. To know more about Ansible, please read the documentation here. Yeah, no, don't use Notepad++. So now that we know what Ansible is, and Jalopy entered the room. Jalopy is one of our resident trolls from America, obviously. So now that we know what Ansible is, the way we use it, we move to forward. For this sense, we're going to main two main components. Ansible modules. Ansible ships the number of modules called module library. Implemented directly remote host by through playbooks. You can also write their own modules, module game system, blah blah blah. Playbooks are Ansible's configuration to play. I know what they are. Ansible modules and tools of workshop. Playbooks are your instruction manuals. Modules are the tools in the workshop. Playbooks are instruction manuals. Aha. And your inventory of hosts on your own raw material. Yep, we are. At a basic level, playbooks can be used to manage configurations of deployment. Now let's move on to setting up an Ansible configured host machine. Okay. Installing Ansible machine. Just did it. Oh, look at that. They use sudo apt install. I like them. I am getting distracted, but it's new. So I wouldn't be here if I didn't want to occasionally be distracted. For this demo, I have used Azure Portal to quickly span up to 2 Ubuntu 16.04 VMs. Ugh. I'm not going that far back. To know about more about installing Ansible, check here. Configuring a host file. Once you've installed Ansible on your machine, it's time to configure Ansible to connect to the target machine to run remote cans. This way to do is simply modify a simple target machine list in the host file or to create a simple inventory file. I've heard about inventory files before. First, we need to modify the file. First, we will see how to modify the default host file. Oh, there's a default host file. Edit or create Ansible hosts and put one of the following in there. Ooh. Do I want to just symlink this? I need to set up DNS to set up Ansible. You're probably guess the key could be locked in authorized keys. All right, so I am going to start using, I'm going to use my inventory file, my Etsy host file is going to have only domain names, and I'm going to set those up in CoreDNS. And this is Ryan's recommendation. He's asleep now, probably. Ryan, did you go to sleep? Go to sleep. It's like 4 a.m. for his time or something, 3. For the second option, we can create an inventory file specific to the target machines. I blame you, Ryan. But Ryan was saying the chicken and the egg syndrome. You can't do CoreDNS. I can't set up Etsy hosts with DNS entries if I don't have DNS set up, and I can't install DNS with Ansible unless I have Ansible set up. I'm running Python. I don't know. Fuck that. I don't use Python if I can help it. So far, this is the only Python dependency in my entire tool stack, period. So, and I like it that way. And I'm not ever going to use it until I give it to machine learning. And I've got hardware to do machine learning. I'm going to do it later. To know more about the inventory file in Ansible, click here. Oopsie daisy, that's not a broken link. Oh well. Run our first Ansible command. Okay, yeah, let's do that. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put IP numbers for Ansible hosts. All right, so no. Create initial host file. At first, we'll use the IPs of the targets in order to install CoreDNS setup, but after that, we'll use only domain names to enable changes to IP addressing without impact. Okay, so I mean, so 192. I don't know which ones. Oh, I know what they are. 192.168.1.1 100 101 102 SSH mini 1 IP-CA. Okay. I think 00 must be the main server. Yeah. Yeah. Yep, there it is. All right, so I had that wrong. So it's 1, 2, and 3. I have to make sure I got the names right over here. These are all in my SSH file. That's why they work. That's the only reason they work. Oh shit! Oh no, that worked good. Whew. Scared me. Homelab. I don't have anything on the Homelab right now. I'm sorry. Jeff really did tell recommend a YouTube series from Jeff. Yeah. Well. All right. Let me copy that. Copy that. Copy that. Okay. Yeah, I just need to spend more time writing books. I stream and get shit done more than that. I should probably spend more time writing books. I've started many. I just keep making the boosts in YouTube videos and stuff. I mean, in Twitch stuff. I like keeping it real and doing one-on-one mentoring instead of writing a book. It's going to be out of date in 10 days. So I'm not a fan of books because of that. What else we got? What else we got? We don't need you anymore. All right, so create a host file. I need to make a host file. Uh, let's see, Ansible hosts. Let's just copy those out. And sudo copy temp buff to, whoops, make directory. Hell, I can actually just write it here and execute it. Make -p add c Ansible I should run this. Damn. Oh, it's because of the cat. It's not going to work. I'm just going to have to do it. I'm just going to have to do it from the command line. All right. Do. What are you talking about? Okie dokie. Maybe it's already there. All right, fine. Screw it. Damn it. There. There we go. I guess it was there already. I wonder if we can put stuff on them. Or this is Ansible. Is this an Ansible help file for all this thing? Yeah, well, I'll stick with that for now, but I don't know. You tell me. Put that in the Ansible host file. Groups and inventory host files for Ansible. Sounds like a great idea. Second option we could do is put it as the path and inventory file. Specify the target machines by default Ansible. Select the host as inventory path. Using -I option for the command. Okay. You know about inventory file. Okay, that's good to know. Run our first Ansible command. Yes, let's do that. So this thing can be set for authenticating Ansible all -mping. Let's try that. All right. Test it out. Ansible all-m ping. Bang bang bash. Unable to parse Ansible host as an inventory source. Whoa. No inventory was parsed. Only explicit localhost is available. The provided host list is empty. Only host list available. Note that the explicit... Why does it try to look in this other place? Yeah, look at that. There's something about Ansible that's looking at a different place. It must be in my bash RC. It is. There you go. Yeah. Yep. Sorry about that. Yeah, I saw that. Okay. Turns out I forgot I added the following to my bash RC. Good day. Oops, wrong thing. Yeah. Which is fine because, you know what? Then it gets saved with my config, which I suppose is fine. Yeah, I have tons of opinions on Z-Shell. So I fucking hate it. It's insecure, dangerous, makes you lazy. It's not the default. Less powerful, can't do functions as easily. It's completely inferior. Doesn't have built-in command complete-c completion. Do I need to go on? Nobody knows this though because they just follow the sheep and use Z-Shell. All right, so I need to move my thing back into the other location. I'm curious if I have it in my config or in my .dot files. I think I might already have it in my .dot files. Maybe not. Oh, I do. Shit. See, I'm probably gonna end up putting my playlist in my .dot files. Is there any reason not to do that? We're gonna find out. Just type DMX. Copy setup. Ansible. We want to, these, we have to fix these. Let's try something else though. Oh shit. Oops. Damn it. This has got a problem. Yeah, it's got a problem. That's not the way you test for a thing anyway. I don't know why I did it that way. I should probably use usual bin bash. Because I want to do this on my Mac too. Mm-hmm. Do 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 do. I did it on purpose because I wanted to force it to fail. Exit 1. All right, so if it's there, then we're gonna make a symlink. We just set dash x. No, dash e. No. Now we don't need that. All right, so what we're gonna do here? You need to make a directory, make dir dash p. Home. Doc actually. Yeah. Harder do 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 do. What do we do? Ansible hosts. Why don't I just do hosts? Why don't I just do that? Why does it have to be Ansible underscore hosts? I don't like underscores anyway. I know. I don't either. Add it to the list of things I don't like about Ansible. That's the only way you should test for the existence of a file, by the way. You shouldn't use which. Which doesn't work in some cases. Config Ansible. Hosts. Why don't I just point it to my GitHub? That'd be better, huh? Well, because we don't know. See ya. Yes. SS tmux.conf. No, we want to do this one, and then we want to do hosts, and we want to link that to config Ansible. There is no host file. There is only Zool. Sudo vi etc Ansible hosts. Hosts. / setup. What was that testing thing that we did? So I added a so I added a I mean, assuming it works, let's try it. Yep. Local. We want config, right? Yeah. And there we go. Now we can try our command again. Bang, bang, bash. What the fuck? Oh. I made the Tommel logo. I also made the INI parser for Ruby way back in the day, and that got deprecated. They're using something else now. Minimal 2007 Flex. Yeah. Go look it up. Yeah. Anyway. Exec bash dash L. Don't forget the dash L. And thank you for the follow. So here we're gonna do. I'm gonna change this again. We're gonna try it over. This should work now. We're going to replace that command with its output by using bang bang bash. Still no host file, god damn it. You know why? Because I have to exec bash -l to pick up my new changes, and now it will work. I'll do it again. Bang bang bash. There we go. Wow, check that out. That's the output. And I didn't even leave Vim. I replaced the command with its output using bash and Unix filters and Vim. Do that in your fucking VS Code. All right, so 103 success, 102 success, 101. That's interesting. I went backwards. Changed false, ping false. What's this output though? I guess this must be JSON, but yeah, whatever. All right, so, oh wait, did I put it in the wrong place? I did. Shit. I want to leave this one here because this is a mistake that I made. I want people to see my mistakes so they can know not to make them. Let's do it again. Bang, bang, bash. Boom. All right. So Ansible is in the house. And it's installed. So I want to go back to organizing my stuff. I've decided to my personal playbooks in my dot files next to my install scripts and other stuff. I'm not going to make a separate playbook. I'm just going to use this for my, unless somebody else wants, for now, playbooks that have reusable value will get their own repos. How's that sound? We want to get, because I want to get CoreDNS on here. What time is it? 6:30. We're making good time. Okay. In fact, I need to make a working commit and get up for a bit and walk around. So I'm going to pause the video. All right, we're back from our little break. After, discussing it with people here on the break, I'm going to go ahead and just make this. This is just for my Homelab personal inventory stuff. The playbooks that I use are in RWXROB, github.com, RWXROB, Ansible. Where I can reuse them for other things besides Homelab stuff as well. So that seems to be a pretty common model. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So let's go ahead and make that repo. GH repo create Ansible personal collection. Public, no, yes, Apache 2, yes, yes. CD into Ansible, license, This is a collection of my favorite playbooks and tweaks to existing playbooks. Yep. I maintain my and such in my dot files. All right. Dash M. All right, so here we are back in the dot files. I think we're done here. So git add Ansible. So all right, so dot files is done. Ansible, I'll leave this open. Looks. Let's go back to that's the dot files. We don't need that anymore. All right, so back to Homelab logging. Anything we need to put in here? DNS providers, copy Ansible playbook, CoreDNS L3 redundant. Homelab Ansible modern repo or what? Decided to keep only inventory hosts in dot files and put the rest of my custom playbook collection in a separate RWXROB Ansible repo. All right. Now what? So I think that's where we are. We need to go find the playbooks. So we're ready to write a playbook to do CoreDNS. I go back to the tutorial for a second and see how to do that. Oh, you can actually put the user in the host file. I assume it just uses the same one. Let me connect the SSH key. That's what I'm doing. It reads keys, SSH keys from IDRSA. No, it doesn't. This is a lie. It just uses SSH keys as they're set up. Add guard home plus CoreDNS. I don't know what that is. What is add guard? Develop add guard software limit add guard opens up software add guard DNS supports Microsoft Windows Linux add guard. Oh, you put this in front of your DNS. Is this like Pi-hole? Does it actually use Pi-hole? By extension blocks videos. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Pi-hole. I've tried it before. It's too aggressive. It blocks stuff I don't want to. I know you can configure it and everything, but it's too much work. I just rather block ads at the browser source. Plus, I also don't always block ads. Sometimes I like the ads. I know I'm demented. So yeah, it's an alternative. Yeah, I mean, thank you for showing me that, but I'm not going to be doing that. In fact, I should probably put that in my log. Decided against any ad blocking / Pi-hole stuff because of bad experience in the past with it being overly aggressive and just a PETA I'll put that in the notes in the log though so people can read it, and I'll ask the other question about that. So Ansible all Ping, we did that already. As Bruce, Ansible as Bruce. Latest, I don't need that. Okay, good job. Mm-hmm. And use some lists from work as I work in cyber. Why does working in cyber make it less of a pain in the ass or more worth it? You configure it once a year. Yeah, well, I mean, other people have different experiences. That's great. You can do that. I don't want to. I don't need it. I don't consider it a violation of my privacy for them to like, because most of the time, you guys have to understand, I don't use a web browser that allows me to be tracked anyway. I don't see ads because I use terminal-based browsing. The people that are like really into that stuff are generally graphics browser users and people who want to do that kind of thing. And I use a graphics browser so little in my day-to-day personal life that unless it's like YouTube or something like that, then which I can just ad block, I don't need it. I don't need to block every single website that I ever go to because I don't see ads. I don't even see images. So they can't trace me with images and stuff. I do have cookies enabled because it's a pain in the ass to accept cookies every time. So that's where I'm coming from. I'm not putting you down for doing it. I don't have a desire to mess with it. It's too much work. Create and run a simple playbook. Ansible playbooks are written in YAML format, even though the INI file for the host thing is not. Okay, playbooks are completely different. Ways to use Ansible and ad hoc tasks. Let's begin writing a basic playbook. Host all true become. True makes it into root. Created with blah. R created with Python C crypt. Rest of it. Mm-hmm. Do you have to put a section for vars? That will create a user and then copy the... Yeah, that does not look like it's appearing the way it should. Look at file. I mean, and it uses mustache templates for everything, so you have to learn that whole thing. Please change this to the path of public key. Basic Ansible playbook. Why is this a Twitter thing? What the hell? C# corner. People don't know how to make websites. if you know how to, if you do progressive design, which is what the P in PWA means, then you should make websites that work without JavaScript. Unless they're apps, which people don't. It really annoys the hell out of me. So documentation. I need to do this thing. I don't want to dive in. I'm just going to make one that works. So controlling other tasks. Attribute Ansible. Ansible BSD. What I want to know is, does a playbook, how do you define a playbook? Is it like a playbook path or something? It could just be static. It absolutely could be. Don't get me started. It's like one of my age-old rants that I even made a shit list for stuff that does. IBM, for example, you can't read any of their site documentation without JavaScript. It's fucking documentation. The browser, it's pretty damn good so far. And that's actually a huge thing for me. The Rust documentation was completely JavaScript dependent. Yep, for a long time, and then they changed it, I think. I can't remember. I mean, I don't think I have to convince anybody watching me why text-based browsing for research like this is faster than graphics browsing, because you get your answers a lot faster, and then you cut and paste them into your documentation notes without using a mouse. And I just, so anyway, introduce the playbooks, working with playbooks. Ansible playbooks are often repeated. This is links. There's an entire thing. So go watch the boost. So boost week 14 is entirely about text-based browsing and searching. It's 4 hours of conversation and discussion about how to do it. I think it's 12 or 13, 14, something like that. I can't remember which one. It goes through W3M versus links and how to configure it and which one you might want to use first and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Ansible playbooks offer a repeatable, reusable thing. Used it 15 years ago. Yeah, it's still worth using, I'm telling you. I just YAML, especially to pass to the army. What I want to know is how do I pass the playbook to the Ansible program? It's probably a man Ansible question. Let me try. Well, I guess not. Fuck that. Yeah, see, that doesn't help me because I have no idea how to do any of that. So, Ansible examples repo. I mean, this is all about how to make them, but it doesn't show you how to execute them. So, see, there's another command called Ansible-playbook, which isn't documented anywhere so far that I've read. Thank you for letting me know. Ansible playbook is a command. That's what I needed. All right. So, all right. Does it have a help? There's no man page, I guarantee you, because it's shitty Python code. Fucking shitty Python code. Oh, hey, look, it does have help. It's not colored or ugly as sin. You want to see what help documentation should look like while I brag about my Bonzai tool? There you go. See that? You can't even tell it's not a man page, is it? It's also dynamic. It's dynamic documentation that looks at your own personal configuration and gives you a help page that's dynamically generated. Because Bonzai. That's how it should be done. Instead, we have this shit to deal with. It doesn't even wrap properly on the screen. What a bunch of bullshit. I fucking hate Python. I hate it. I also hate dash get up shit like this. I'm gonna make an Ansible. One of these days, I'm gonna make an Ansible killer that's entirely based on Bonzai. Haven't heard of it? They have. Oh my god, this is so fucking ugly. And I'm just getting angry. Calm down, Rob. Oh, I know. I don't even want to talk about it. Bonzai is like my wet dream, and don't get mad, get busy. And I did. I made Bonzai because I was like fucking tired of this shit. So let's host subset ask a vault password file vault underscore password. Oh my god. I am really gonna lose it playing with these things because I hate this interface. This is so bad. People just accept what they have and they don't even question it. All right, so this doesn't tell me anything. I can't glean how to do this. Oh, the playbook is the very last argument. So you have to give it the exact playbook folder, I assume. It doesn't say playbook directory. It just says playbook. Forks module paths. Become user. And they didn't have to do this. They could have put it all in a monolith. They could have it all in a Go monolith with sub commands like they do for netplan and git and a million other really kind and gh. You have to give it a playbook file. A file or directory. Is that to point to the file, the .yaml file, I assume? Or do we just use the playbook, not a file? All right. So you're saying a playbook is equivalent to a YAML file. A single YAML file. Right? So, but using a horrible YAML file changes syntax. I know. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it through this. I'm gonna make it through this. Doesn't care about location of the playbook. Well, then how the fuck does it find it? You have to provide the full path, yeah? Otherwise, you have to use roles. All right, then I'm confused because I want to see something here. I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you. Thank you, but thank you. I mean, that would have been something that they could have put in their examples. I fucking hate shitty code. Okay, so what I'm trying to get at is there's already a let me see if I can show you. So here is the Ansible CoreDNS repo that I found. I was its #1 hit on GitHub, and it has a bunch of directories. And example, playbook hosts all roles Ansible CoreDNS. So this is where I guess I have to understand what roles are, because you pointed at Ansible CoreDNS, and I think it pulls in the whole thing. So I'm going to have to read about what roles are, because here's the main YAML file. And by the way, if you name your YAML files .yml, you should be shot in the head. That includes me, who did that for like a year. It's like HTML files for websites. Who the fuck thinks saving one extra letter is going to make a difference? The creator, Igni, would be pissed. We have people that actually know the creator of YAML in our community. They pair programmed with them at HP. Systemd, CoreDNS, reloaded. Meta. A list of steps to reach a desired state. You mean a pipeline, like Tecton? Okay. I mean, if they're going to make it a playbook, they should at least keep a consistent metaphor and call it like a play. How about that? Or a position, like or a QB or some shit. Think Galaxy full role name CoreDNS. Role is the primary mechanism for breaking a playbook into multiple files. Okay, well, that seems to be it. Doesn't. Why is it a fucking role? That word has no sense at all. Thank you for the follow on the sub. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. Anyone who's ever done anything with RBOK is going to go, what the fuck are they calling this a role for? God, fucking idiots. And then they put all this like marketing enterprise cum all over it, and then they sell it and make it, everybody think it's the cat's meow. Oh, so fucking horrible. I'm seriously, Ansible has been so poorly designed, I can't even put words to how bad it is. And yet it's become the master of everything. I want to make up something better. Don't get mad, get busy. I'm gonna make an Ansible replacement. And yes, it'll be compatible with all your shitty stuff. I'm gonna make it. You give me time. I got shit to do, and I'm gonna get I'm gonna move on, and then we're gonna redo it, and we're not gonna be angry. We're gonna rewrite it and go with YAML v2, and we're gonna make it better. And we'll make it compatible so that nobody has to do it. And we'll make an SSH endpoint agent so people can install that if they don't want to install SSH. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take that shit down. We're gonna show how bad it is by writing something better. And you're gonna say, well, why don't you contribute to the core project? Because then I have to use Python and argue with people who think this is a good idea. It's the only reason why Ansible is still around. I know. But we can make the barrier lower, like much lower. I know we can. Yeah. It's done the job. Yeah, and do you want me to turn that argument around on its head next time you like say that I should be using Linux desktop and I say Windows has been doing the job for 20 years? What's the problem? Ranting is not useless. Ranting develops a passion and helps people understand where you're coming from. Yeah. Use it or don't use it. It does the job. It's shit. It's shit. It needs to be fixed. There. And I'm asking, the reason I'm ranting is because I'm calling on other people out there to kind of rethink what Ansible could be. And I'm like questioning the status quo so that other people who are brilliant could actually look at it. That's why I'm ranting about it. And, do I appreciate the work that went into it? Yes. Do I think that they were like brain dead when they made their design decisions? Yes. Are they good people? Yes. You should not be using X. You can say that all you want, but that's just a stupid position because there's definitely software that should not be used. And just to say, well, pick whatever you want to is like cowardly. Have a fucking opinion. I mean, come on. Research this stuff and then have an opinion. It's better for you to have an opinion, even if it's a small opinion. Plus, and if you don't have this, how can you ever be an IT architect? Because you have to have opinions, and that means you have to hear people's rants about things, and you have to put them aside. You know, it's better if you don't call people, idiots and stuff while you're doing it. I agree, but just saying use whatever you want is totally lame. Or going to punish, but it's available. There's no alternative, so you have to use it. Okay, yeah. The reason I'm ranting about it and using it is for that reason. Kubernetes also has problems. If we don't call out the problems, then people are not going to think about the problems and make something better. It's not unproductive. Hell no, it's not unproductive. I totally disagree. Obviously, yeah. Ranting is not saying it's bad and saying why it's bad is the opposite of unproductive. Because that puts it out into the universe so that somebody can go fix it. And it actually helps me to distill what I want to make better next time. So that when I rant about something, I don't know, like Cobra, which I did make a better version of, I can go out and make a better version and people can get behind it and it can get deployed into production all over. That's how Bonzai started. Pagan had problems. I love Peg. I love Brian Ford. I love them all. Peg had problems. I ranted about it. I made Pegin, which is better, which has stuff for ABNF and all that support in it, and I made a better thing. But it didn't come about until I ranted about these problems. Alacrity has problems. It's important people understand the problems with Alacrity. Otherwise, they're going to install it on Windows and they're going to be sad. They're going to waste time and go, what the fuck? This doesn't work. I didn't know that. Why didn't somebody tell me? So that's the opposite of counterproductive. So I protest. I disagree. We'll put it that way. In politics, it's important, even if there's not a power. Yeah. It's always good, constructive. To me, that's positive. If you don't like hearing my rants about the negative things and calling it shit, if it turns you off, I'm sorry, but that's a part of how I operate, And when I say something shit, I don't just say that. I also tell you why. I delineate all the reasons why, so we can go back in and go try to fix it and talk about it and understand it and have a conversation, right? But okay, let's move on. It's better to make software yourself than have software and have it. Yes, I agree, but I can't make software myself until I rant about what's wrong with it so that I can hear from other people like you. Many times I've ranted about something but dead wrong. And so I'm glad I ranted about it. That was the opposite of counterproductive as well, because I ranted about it and they said, you can do this. And I'm like, no, I didn't know that. And so then I've shared it with everybody and I do that. And I say, I'm sorry, I didn't know it. And I add it and I move on. Do you know what I mean? So if I had just lived it, suffered in pain doing the other thing, saying, it must be just me that doesn't understand it. So that's the reason I Twitch stream anyway. And by the way, this goes for Ansible. I mean, I was pretty much anti-Ansible. I wasn't going to use it at all. And then, all right, so let's move on. So Galaxy Info CoreDNS, this is a role, as I understand it, as much as I hate that word. So that means they've put a bunch of stuff in here that all goes together. And I'm trying to understand it by looking at it. Reload CoreDNS, system being named CoreDNS state reloaded. Question: Do they require the YAML stuff at the top? Because YAML doesn't require it. I really hope they don't. I really hope they don't require this thing at the top. If they require that, I'm going to be really disappointed because it's not required for YAML documents. All right, so let's go meta. I got that. It's not, thank God. Tasks. Oh man, we got lots of stuff there. Actually, let's just do this. All right, so we have main.yaml. It's got the variables in it. And I imagine that these are not like bootstrapped or anything. They have to be in order, I'm pretty sure. WSL2 is not worth using. You can use it and fine, but that just means you haven't found its bugs yet. It's absolute shit, and it will destroy your computer, and your CPU will burn out in a cyclical loop. And you say, well, it didn't happen for you. Well, if it happened for me, it's okay for me to say it. And then you can go tell people how wonderful it is. Yeah, but see, you can't say that according to LBG. You can't say that according to LBG. It works fine for me. Worst words ever uttered in IT. Works fine for me. Minimal negative experience. I do, absolutely do. I absolutely do. The first time I get really turned off by a thing, it overcolors my experience with the thing. I will not even deny that. That is totally true. And then sometimes I'll come around and I'm like, okay, let's give it another shot. And then it'll like totally fuck me in the ass. And then I'm like, oh my God. That would be VirtualBox, by the way. I built an entire boost off VirtualBox against my best judgment, and it fucked me in the ass. I'm sorry, that's a very negative expression. I'm kind of ramped up. You think this Pero might have caffeine in it? Look, that's the reason I get so upset is because I don't like having my time wasted. I'm wasting time now talking about having my time wasted. Okay, so let's move on. So what do we got here? I'm learning about these things by looking at them. Name reload CoreDNS, Galaxy info. These could all have been in a single file apparently, but they chose not to do that. Galaxy, what the hell is a Galaxy? Download and install CoreDNS. VirtualBox is free. You might have been one of the many, but everyone else was saying, why the hell are you using that? It's not free. Yeah. Yeah. Download install CoreDNS. You need to build it from source. If you need a non-standard plugin, well, I don't mind building it from source. I have Go. Go is the thing. That's actually one of the reasons I picked it. Because if I wanted to make any changes to it, I could definitely contribute. Yeah, I can't do that with any of the bind, for example, which is all Linux C and stuff. Download install CoreDNS. Create CoreDNS systemd unit file. Ensure the system is stopped. I mean, this is interesting. Okay, they included the CoreDNS service in this file. This is interesting. Because I was wondering how they were going to get it into systemd because it's not there by default. Yeah, the CoreDNS people? Yeah, because CoreOS. Yeah. You're using Gen 2 and WSL 2? Okay, we're done talking. I mean, look, if you want to torture yourself, that's fine. I don't. Replace the vol.conf. Why are they using Jinja 2? Oh, I see. They're taking the file and then they're replacing it with the values and then they're creating a file. Okay, I think I'm getting this. I think I'm getting it. One of the CoreDNS contributors looks like me. Well, that makes me happy, I suppose. Add CoreDNS group, add CoreDNS users. Oh. This is a whole group and user thing you guys were talking. Oh no, these are actual groups and users. Shell bin bash. Create CoreDNS configuration. So I get to be a YAML programmer even more. CoreDNS config path. IDS script. CoreDNS is a DNS server. And I don't know what DNS script is. So, include tasks. Oh, hey, look at that. You can have a file that includes another file, which are called tasks, even though they're in a role. If else system access to Windows. Oh, I hate that. YAML plus Jinja 2. Config CoreDNS include. Why does this have to be here? I don't understand. Oh, well, we'll go look at it. Which file is that? Is that the main one? Tasks. I assume all of those things are put together in a single thing. Yeah, this is the main. So this, you are pretty much coding. You're writing a main function or whatever, a main file, and then you're pulling in all the other stuff. And I bet you that CoreDNS post is going to have all the other stuff. We're just going to pull from other stuff. Okay. I mean, this is not too hard to grok. So it's just, you know, stuff. Let's look at the install. Download and install CoreDNS. Coding. 10 words per minute. Well, you should work on that. You really only need to get to about 30. Yeah. Best way to get typing is to type things, particularly code. I still can't type numbers and symbols properly. I have to look. I suck. So, all right. What are we doing here? Let's go to. I don't know if I want to make a role for this. Or if I'm just going to use their thing, or if I could just. I'm getting the sense that a role allows you to do individual tasks. Does that make sense? So like, right. So these become like subcommands, I'm guessing. Yeah. DNS client, DNS resolver. There's a bunch of them. Yeah, I don't know about DNS correct, but we talked about CoreDNS does have DOT enabled, according to Ryan, which means you can do mTLS to encrypt the final leg in DNS, or like a reusable playbook, and use it in other playbooks. Yeah, but it seems like it has subtasks as well. Yeah. Yeah. Roles are handy because they encapsulate subtasks. The playbooks can specifically multiply roles for a group of hosts. You can use those roles. Okay, well at least I know the language now. I mean, I'm inferring from this that there is an install and there's a CoreDNS post, and which is interesting because they're borrowing from REST terminology. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, so we have unit file template register CoreDNS system D enable Sept. Yeah. Well, just keep working at it. Make sure you type everything. You gotta know how to type. I also feel sorry for people that have to learn English because it's like an extra overhead thing you have to do to be in tech. I didn't make the rules, man. That's just how it is. So, source CoreDNS enable this. I don't see. There's also no examples there. There's obviously a role. I want to be able to run an individual thing. I get a sense that it's building up subcommands, but I don't know how to do those. I'm not even sure I like this one. I want to see if there's another one. CoreDNS config Ansible playbook. I was super surprised to see that there's really not that many playbooks out there. This is the one I already looked at. Port on which CoreDNS Cloud Alchemy. Let's go steal this one, shall we? Clone that. Let's go look at it. This has a much bigger README file. Yeah, I know there are, Ryan. It's one of the main reasons. I was saying that very thing when I was complaining about Ansible the other day. It's like the whole point is reusability, and then you go look at the playbooks and you're like, oh my fucking God, I'm not touching that thing. Yeah, so, yeah. Okay. 23 CoreDNS version, DNS support, so the variables. Why would you do you have to have variables that are that long? I am so gonna not like that. Host cloud document CoreDNS zone files. Continuous integration, troubleshooting. Not impressed. I just want it to work. It looks like this is a copy of somebody else's thing. Like I could have been done setting up DNS by now. So, oh nice. Yeah. It does very well, like foobar boss. You can, good. To be a descriptor of Ansible stuff. Yeah. I mean, I suppose it's fine. But why are they putting underscores in YAML files? Can you use dashes? Or people don't do that, right? Ansible lint. There's an Ansible linter. Probably need to get that. I didn't see anything here that's useful. They're assuming that I know how to run tasks, and I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that. This is not helping me. Okay. This is gone. That's gone. This is the one that's already there. Playbooks. Greetings. Thank you, Macro. It's Python, yeah. I don't think Python naming rules actually do apply because it's YAML. Right? Or are they using those as to associate them with some sort of interpreted thing? It's actually kind of an anti-pattern to put underscores in YAML files. People do it, but, you know. So I'm getting the feeling I want to write my own by looking at some of these other ones. So I'm going to read about this playbook thing again. The variables that up beside Python. Yeah, I was afraid of that. It's not INI. What's INI? The underscore? No. No, they're YAML files. .yaml. Who says? Me. Look, YAML will let you put whatever the fuck you want in there. You can have the craziest key values you possibly want. So obviously you can do it. I don't see it in a lot of systems that use YAML. All the cloud native stuff that uses YAML, to be fair, they're mostly written in Go. They'll use mixed case or they'll use dashes, but they don't know. I've never once seen a YAML file with underscores as the keys ever in the cloud native world. Now, if Ansible does it because it's in Python, I understand it, but stupid. Talking about Norway. Bitwise searches is the future. Lol. Playbook syntax. YAML file this actually familiar with YAML blah. Playbook, I do not know why. Playbook is used when one plays. Playbook execution. Manage those to target using a pattern. In Ansible 2.10, we recommend using the fully qualified collection in your playbook. Should the correct module selected. What's a module? A collection of playbooks. Because multiple collections can contain modules. God, I hate it when people don't come up with a domain-specific language, and they just let themselves just kind of like go willy-nilly about their day, and they end up with mixed metaphors and shit like this. It's one of my biggest pet peeves for software design. There was absolutely no domain language design whatsoever in Ansible. and it's an example. The first target. We'll play with targets. The web servers. The second play targets of database servers. Update web servers remote versus root. Tasks for Apaches. Blah blah blah. Ansible built-in yum. See, they have dots in there now too, even because it's like modules, right? That's probably why they have underscores, because they just want to write Python. Write the Apache config file. See, I was hoping there was going to be a built-in to do the CoreDNS stuff, but guess not. When it makes sense to do so. Yeah, you know, because then you have a common language to talk about this stuff, and then you write your software after on that, based on that. Yeah, and ensure Postgres is the latest version. Ansible built-in yum. Yeah. Check YAML with the Norway problem. Okay. There's why this problem is catch the Norway problem YAML. Maybe right Norway. No, YAML will return false. Oh, I know. Yeah. Yep. This is a big problem. Yeah. That's a really great example of it. Thank you for that. No better explanation. I'll save that. It's in my notes. It's in my notes now. Thank you. Huh. Yeah. They thought they were being cool by doing that. Brian Dahl says in 10 Things He Hates About Node, which he created, that all those things that you think are cute, don't do those things. There's like a really good video clip you can go look about of that. And that's one of those things. Take a look at the rules. User for inspiration. What, the roles? I was looking at the roles code, actually. And thinking about the CoreDNS ones. I did. I'm just wondering if I actually need rules or if I can just do it all in a single file and then just call it a day. Yeah. I mean, I won't lie. Some of the stuff about adding it to systemd, that seems kind of nice. Yeah, let's go back and look again. Oh, damn it. Yeah, let's look back at that. So the default's main. Yeah, I might have to steal this. Yep. Because I mean it's pretty good. And I guess I don't mind the underscores like this when they do it like this, but I'm just curious if you could use it with dashes. I wonder if it would work. Reload CoreDNS, systemd reloaded. I mean, that's kind of cool. That the systemd is a built-in, right? And so this reloads systemd. That's the biggest reason to use it, obviously. And I don't want to rewrite all of those rules. I could, but we'll name CoreDNS obsta as well roll to install and configure CoreDNS MIT min Ansible version. HCL, I don't know, man. I can't. I like HashiCorp, but HCL pushes it for me. You can't use JSON with comments because that would defeat JSON completely. TOML is the thing that I like, but I mean, YAML's it's just not even worth talking about. Yeah, Q. Is Dr. Verm here yet? Is he up? Q is a thing that's gaining popularity. It's an actual configuration language, like with logic and stuff. I think it's Turing complete. Yeah. Most people just want to get shit done. Yeah. So I still don't know how to use this. I see it. I just don't know how to actually run it. Toml's kind of ugly. Full disclosure, I was a big Toml project fan 3, 4, 5 years ago, and I made the logo for Toml. So I was big into INI for a long time. It doesn't matter. YAML has won. Okay, so get over it. It's destination. Speaking to myself too. There. CoreDNS download URL. Yeah, they're bigger panels. Name, download and install CoreDNS. Unarchive. So that's another standard built-in task, yeah. And it gives the arguments to the task. So I mentioned it because this one doesn't use apt to do the install. How do we... I already wrote about this in my log. CoreDNS. What the hell? Maybe we didn't. We were getting ready to write about it. I gotta go back and look at my log. I know we did something with it. And determine install CoreDNS etcd. System deployments. Yeah. All right, so storing and finding roles. Load vars, blah blah blah. Where's let's centers all the other especially group content roles. Reuse them and share. I don't understand the reusing part. I know that you can do it, and I've seen them. I just want to see how to actually use it once you get it all together. Roles common. Ansible runs defined directory structure with 8 main directories. Oh, so it's kind of like a vim config. With 8 standard directories, you must include at least one of these directories in each role. You can omit any directories. So that's where handlers, task templates, and files come from. Okay. Wow, this is very much like the InfChart installer that we have at work. So yeah. So you have to have task handlers, templates, and files. You must include at least one of those directories. Okay. So I have a feeling that my playbooks is actually going to become a roles directory, which is what you all were telling me, right? The question is, do I make the top level assumed to be roles, or do I not? I mean, what's a good way to organize it? Roles. So what do you guys do? What do you do? Do you put your roles at the top level? I don't know. Are you? So you see what I'm saying? mean, I could have roles and then I could have playbooks that don't have any role, you know? So... what am I trying to do? CoreDNS, install it. We found a way to install CoreDNS using PPA. And I have to go back and watch the video. I don't remember it. 3D interface, that would be cool. I'm going to make a CoreDNS rule, I guess. Have you seen Ansible and pull config? Every machine just pointed a repo. It runs exactly. That looks horrible. I would never do that. I would never do that. Okay. I mean, I need more convincing to do that. That initially sounds like a horrible idea to me. All right. So what time is it anyway? I have a meeting at 11:30, which is a ways away. All right. So we are trying to organize everything here, and I'm going to probably make a CoreDNS rule. And I'm just going to copy the one that I have already and alter it for my purposes. I mean, we got lots of stuff up here, so I'm trying to get a handle on the rules. Thank you for LBG for sending me this. So roles have to have task handlers, templates, files, vars, defaults, and meta. That's interesting. Oh, that's the stuff about it. Roles can also include custom modules. Module utilities, rules that include custom module utilities. Look up plugins. I kind of want to steal this. Getting hot. Simple documentation. All right. I mean, what the hell? Oops. How's it going, Bruno? What's up? ASCII arrows in the document for the win. CoreDNS. Do. Okay. And I guess we'll just change all these to be my own. Oopsie. Wait, what? Main.yaml. Hey, Breno, it's good to see you. Oh, that's nice. I'm going to start to switch my schedule back up again, so I'll be streaming at this time frame a little bit more. Not always, but I just have so many people at this time frame that I really like, because this is the time frame I've been streaming for a long time. Yep. I started at like 4 o'clock. Started streaming about 4. Yeah, I'm gonna try to do another split sleep schedule, because I get so much done in the morning like this when it's like really dark. I know it's your evening, a lot of people's evening, but whatever. It's still my favorite time, and some of my best community members are on at that time, so Q macro included. Main YAML, templates main.yaml. I'm reading a little bit more about this. By default, Ansible will look in each directory within a role for a main.yaml file for relevant content. Also main.yaml and main. The main list tests the role executes handlers which may be used outside the role. The main list of tasks that the role executes. Okay, let me go back and look at this. This is useful. This is very useful. Wait. Tasks main. Does it have to be that name? I guess it must be. Within a role for a main.yaml file. Also main.yaml, thank God. Well, that worked. Damn it, I gotta do it for the other stuff too, though. I mean, I could do this bash pretty easily, but I'm gonna break it all because I refuse. To move there we go. Yay, done. Team Power Post semi-automated. Oh yeah, isn't it great? It really is. That thing I just did right there. Yeah, I'm gonna have to change all that. So time for some pie. I mean, I could, this is dangerous. I don't know. I should probably store this first. grepl. Oh, that's it? Oh, good. We can pi this. Pi s dot YAML with dot YAML. Oh, it's not a regular file. Okay. All right, that did it. Yay. So that should be it. That should be good to go. Now, I probably need to change these defaults for myself. I'm going to set these to my favorite defaults, whatever they are. Let's stay up here, I guess. What's the latest version of CoreDNS? We did this already. And then there's deployments, right? It's version 11. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Kind version, Kubernetes version. Circle CI. Oh, 1.22 is the version of Kubernetes. Recording this. I don't see anything, do you? Okay. I mean, I don't know. Oh, we're going to do the releases. Oh, fuck. It actually it calls releases by default. Shit, that's awesome. GH. I gotta practice my... Oh, wait. I'm forgetting what to do here. Yeah. Okay. So, okay, GH release list. There they are. So, 1.94 is the latest. Okay. Well, that's all I needed. 1.9.4. I mean, I assume it's the same thing. Charge these, cell-based template directory, CoreDNS, group, path, it's a CoreDNS core file. DNS forwarding, CoreDNS forward servers. I don't know if I'm going to use it. CoreDNS forwards for TLS name Cloudflare DNS. Fuck that. I might, you know what? We're supposed to research that. That was a part of the thing we put on our list to do today. The alternative DNS providers. I guess we're there. I guess we're to that part. I was just going to send it up to my local DNS on my router, but I'm thinking I want to spend a little bit more time. Somebody suggested there's a great list here. If I'm going to add this to configuration, I might as well look it up right now. So, latest playbook user reuse roles, DNS over TLS, dropper SSH, internal stuff, free and public DNS servers. There we go. Oopsie. do? I screwed up. I screwed up. There we go. There we go. Google, Control D, Quad 9, OpenDNS Home, Cloud for clean browsing, add your DNS. DNS servers, don't need that. Best free ones. If you're not sure the IP DNS servers, let's use Google. Fast browsing, improve security, accurate results. Fastest speeds of public DNS servers because they're hosted in data centers all around the world. I don't need that. So, Control D is a free DNS. Control D servers to pick from, categorize them. Uncensored resolver proxies are common. Commonly block websites in most countries to bypass IP blocking of various new websites. Others can use to stop malicious websites, block ads, trackers. Don't need any of that. I don't need any of that. Quad 9 is a free public DNS server to protect your company and other devices from cyber threats. Immediately and automatically blocking access to unsafe websites. Don't need it. Well, that's my personal data. I mean, Quad 9 sounds like it might be worth doing. OpenDNS claims 100% reliability and uptime and is used by tens of millions of users around the world. 2 sets of free public DNS servers. It's just for parental controls and does the filtering options. No, I don't want to do that. I don't give a shit. Cloudflare is the one that fastest DNS. I don't know. They go down all the time. Also, they have IPv6. Oh, that's cool. There are setup directories for your devices through the link above. It's usable for one app. I probably am going to use Cloudflare as much as I hate it. Because I really just care about speed. As long as they don't track, I don't care. And if I have my own primary one, yeah. Quad 9 without filtering? I don't know. We'll see. I mean, the bottom line is I want it to be fast, and if it's going to go down, it's going to. I don't know. I don't care. Clean browsing. 3 free DNS servers. I don't want a fucking family filter. AdGuard that block ads in games. I'm not using any of these, so that's interesting. How does that not break software like crazy? I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, the family filter thing, if I had young kids, I might use that actually. But I don't. A lot of people use Cloudflare, but Cloudflare is centralized shit. But I'm going to do this for my own stuff, so why is a different DNS server? I mean, I could use 2 of them. I can have up to 3, right? So I could fail over to Cloudflare, but then, yeah. Oopsie. What did I do? One of the kind of you might want to use servers for your own specific ISP. Don't manually set DNS servers at all, just let the auto sign. Free DNS servers do not give you free internet access. Duh. We already looked at this. Okay. Cloudflare it is. Yeah, I don't want to spend time on this. It bothers me that I have to use it, but whatever. Whatever. I'm on caching cursor DNS. Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. Yeah. That's what I'm doing for my rack and machines in my rack and stuff. We're just setting up cloud. We're just setting up CoreDNS to be the source. Forwarding servers, I guess that's fine. So, yeah. I'm not using TLS. It would be cool, but I'm not going to use it. Local zone. I've been trying to figure out what to use for my local zone. I've been trying to figure out what to do with that. I think I actually do want to use a local zone. I could just use .local. I've used that before. Fishies. The question I have with the main zone is some people will use the same external domain as their internal domain. And I don't know if I want to do that. I think I might want to make up an internal zone name. What didn't have a DNS name before CD? Something else. What didn't have a DNS name? Yeah, we're not doing etcd. The main reason, and I wrote about it, is because Ryan reminded me that you don't have to care about your subnetting and networking if you use DNS from the beginning. So yeah, subnet local domain. Mark Peterson, owner of creator of DNS. That's cool too. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just gonna use .local because there's no chance of that ever being used on the outside. When I SSH into something, I'll know which one it is for sure. Esteem.lan. Yeah, that's true. That's a good one. Why would you use example.com? Because you want that full-blown domain and everything? Huh. I could see a lot of reasons for doing that, Jeep guy. For example, if you're writing documentation and you're testing things in your lab, you could actually write useful things that actually use your example domain and then run them and take the output. That's a really good idea. I really like that idea. I'm going to give you a rep for that. That's a great idea. Especially for streaming. Can you see my point? Because if I do that, then I mean, look, I'm not going to use fully qualified domains for anything anyway. The only time I would ever use a fully qualified domain is when I'm setting it up internally and I'm going to be documenting it. Local mess with MDNS, probably. So this is some good feedback here. This lab.example.com is a really good example. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. I'm actually going to document it in the log. I don't know if this is going to be too long, but on lab.example.com as fully qualified local zone domain searched by a Jeep guy. So that examples and streaming and documentation all sync up from home. I won't be using a fully qualified domain at all for most things, but when I do, there's a good chance I'm going to want to document it for public consumption. I really like that idea. That's a great idea. Remap configs. And then for the domain, you just make a CNAME if I want to emit the local. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. That's a great idea. Okay, we'll move on to the next thing. So we're gonna keep Cloudflare and stuff. Good morning, Gaboo. So handlers, let's look at these. Real CoreDNS, I'm gonna leave it as is. Meta, CoreDNS, OPSA, RWXROB. Ansible role to install and configure CoreDNS in Homelab. No company. Do I have to have a company? I don't have a company. License Apache. Do I have to do -2? Min Ansible version. What's the minimum Ansible version? I don't think that matters. Platforms, Ubuntu, versions, Bionicle, Focal. What? No, I'm changing mine. Why do they have the names? What is nickname for? It's probably in my uname out, right? Oh, what the hell? Jellyfish. Is it jammy? Is it jammy or jelly? Galaxy tags. Here's jammy. Thank you. Yeah, I just found it. I just am trying to figure out which one it was. I mean, I guess that's good enough. I don't know. I just want this to work, and I'll learn more about it later. Main.yaml. Configure CoreDNS. Why do we even need that there? Include task CoreDNS post YAML. Tags. I don't understand that, but I guess I don't need to understand it yet. Also, I fucking hate it's not doing it because it's like, oh, fuck it. Fuck it. All right. Well, we're in meta. No, we got that. We're in tasks. Download and install CoreDNS. CoreDNS download URL. Create CoreDNS system unit file. Why would you not capitalize file, but the other stuff? Oh god, this is so fucking. This shit bothers me. It bothers Q too. He's not watching right now. He's doing work now, probably. I remember us talking about like camel mixed case, title case, all this stuff. He's a writer. The sentence case. I thought you liked sentence case. Don't you like sentence case versus title case? Yeah. Ensure CoreDNS started and enabled CoreDNS started. Title case. Yeah, you're the anti-title case person. Yeah, you're a pro sentence case. You know, you influenced me a lot. I've started to use a lot more sentence case in my writing because I'm like, you know what, this kind of makes sense, unless it's a proper noun or something, you know. So yeah, these are all sentence case. So there. That's like the only thing I'm doing right now. Are we doing it? Download and install CoreDNS. Well, this is if we're gonna this is one of those weird ones, right? Because it's kind of a sentence, but it's got, you know. Thank you for the follow. CoreDNS download URL. Did we say that? I don't think I did. All right, systemd. What's this doing? Submit pull request to correct capitalization. CoreDNS Jinja 2 644 for the CoreDNS service. This looks right. This looks right. I mean, I know what this is gonna do. So, daemon reload. Yeah, you know, I gotta admit, this is appealing to me. All this like restarting stuff, like, oh, Q macro. What the hell? You're morbid camel toe person. Splendid Beaver, how are you? In honor of the 2021 boost, we will always remember the beaver. It's been saved for time and eternity. If you know what I'm talking about, nobody knows what we're talking about. There was Docker gave us a rather interesting. Oh shit! You're giving more stubs away. That's fantastic. Thank you, Jeep. Oh my god. Thank you. So yeah, it was like, oh, it's crazy. Yeah, we were 2021. We were doing Docker Live, right? And it gave me Sweet Beaver as my random Docker container name. And it was impossible to not snicker the whole time. We were just like 12-year-old little boys. We were like, because and then there was like tons of like, and then I never cap anything. No, I normally, I used to be that way. When it comes to written documentation, I kind of don't like that, but yeah. Add CoreDNS group bin bash. I mean, this looks good. This looks good. I don't want to reinvent the wheel here as much as I am that guy. I actually feel like we can run this thing if I knew what I was doing. CD templates. Oh, whoop. Templates. Core. Why would you capitalize that? Is the file supposed to be capitalized? It must be. Q might be offended by it. The keyboard, I know, shift key. Yeah, that might be true. Yes, if you have a 40% keyboard. Yeah. Jinja templates, yay. Core mate. I mean, they could have used Helm templating for this whole thing if they, I mean, not Helm, but Go templating. CoreDNS, I can't believe I said that because I hate Helm. NC, path, SkyDNS. What? CoreDNS main zone, path, SkyDNS, endpoint, localhost. What the fuck? What the hell is this? This looks like they hacked it. They did. They hacked it up for their own use. This is bad. I wonder if these things are going to get overwritten. Prometheus cache load balance. If CoreDNS main zone is defined, defaults. Oh, we don't have main zone. Yes, we do. Trailblazing. Oh, yeah? Yeah, that'd be fun. So, we have SkyDNS. This is interesting. I wonder if this is going to be used later. But isn't the thing with Ansible, like if I change the values, I can just repost it and it'll change everything? You know what I mean? So, please, that better not be what I think. Very interesting. Okay, so Prometheus cache load balancing. It's got to have some sort of like thing that's reading the frequency. All right, so this person has clearly defined some configurations for stuff that I am also going to be using, but I don't know that I'm going to need it. Huh. But the whole thing with Ansible is I'm supposed to be able to change things and just have it push. Thank you for the follow. I'm supposed to be able to change things and just push it, right? It might be foot pedals. That would be funny. That would be the easy way to troll everybody. Unit description, CoreDNS, documentation, service for permission, capability bounding, CoreDNS group. Exit reload. I mean, I'm glad they made this file because I was going to have to make one for my service, for my CoreDNS service, and they already did it for me. So I'm super happy about that. Limit to file. I am really happy that they made that already. All right, I'm getting on board with the Ansible thing a little bit more because that just saved a ton of time. Name server. So that's, wait, that template I know is going to get changed. Dial on install CoreDNS. What, it's going to change. That resolve's got to have some stuff at the end of it. Oh, that must be the base one. All right, let's find out. So, I mean, this is a role, so we have to figure out how to run an Ansible role, which I do not know how to do. And stuff. Hi, you. I've been up since 4. Don't. You're on TV. You're gonna come in here with your sexy. Oh. Hi. I am smelly, but I'm happy.
You want a coffee?
I know. I need to actually go to sleep. Hey, you look really good. Stay there for a sec. That's Doris. I'm gonna plug Doris. I mean, my wife just woke up. Yeah, I really smell bad. I guess I am. We're also on YouTube, so we're not supposed to. We're supposed to. I should probably end soon. All right, let's run this thing. When are we, I have to talk to my wife in a bit. You know what? Let's take a break. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. All right, so we're just going to try to get this Ansible CoreDNS playlist to run against my inventory, and then I'm going to call it for today. I got to grab some winks before I have meetings today. I got meetings all morning. So I have to create a playbook that includes slash reference to your Ansible role. Huh. I don't know what that means, but I'll figure it out. I thought we already have a playbook right here. Oh, I see what you're saying. I think I know what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah, I remember seeing it. It's at the highest level. Yeah, it's here. Example playbook hosts all roles, blah. The problem I don't understand here is it going to run everything? I mean, what is it going to run? Is it going to run what actually runs? I don't get it. And how does it find the roles? Do it have to point to the roles wherever they're at? It runs everything in the role. In what order? Starting with main, I guess. Yeah. Looks in the role folder. And a playbook. Let's pull verify playbook. Playbook execution. Playbook is in the dot roles. Main note YAML, yeah. But where? CoreDNS zone? Where did you find that? Yeah. Wow, it uses zone data like good old fashioned bind. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to need to get into the CoreDNS stuff later. Right now, I just want a DNS server up, and I'll come back in and fix it. So, definitely add that to the list. Tasks, main. That's the entry point. Okay, that's all I wanted. That's all I was looking for. Tasks main. Include task CoreDNS pre, CoreDNS install, and then post. All right, I think we're good then. I think I just need to put a playlist here. I mean, these are roles, right? So I have to point it to the host file. You can run a specific tag name. Yeah, remember that. So anyway, I think I'm gonna go back to my Ansible directly. And we have the setup that does this stuff. My thoughts on Rust. I don't like Rust. Rust is a irrelevant language, in my opinion. There's nothing of significance being done in Rust. I don't want to talk about it more though. And same thing as Zig. I like practical things. I like things that people are using to get work done. And right now, Rust is really not that not comparatively. It might be eventually, and it does have it has really good, awesome things. Gamozo is somebody who uses it for fuzzing and things, writing operating systems, stuff like that. It's great. People rewriting their websites in Rust is stupid, in my opinion. But do whatever you want. A lot of people love it. There's lots of streamers who are in love with Rust, including people I deeply respect. That's fine. So anyway, let's see here. I got to make a playlist. No, I mean a playbook here. I'm trying to decide whether I should put my playbook here or I don't know. I'm trying to decide where to put my playbook. I think I'm probably going to put it here. Can I even do this? Um, It's a rules CoreDNS. You think that's a good place for it? I was thinking about that, and I thought about putting it in its own playbook thing, but I mean, it is kind of related to it, though, isn't it? Yeah, so core YAML. Like syntax, hosts, hosts all roles, whatever. Okay, so name, Homelab. Does that need to be fancy? Name, update, Homelab, CoreDNS, servers. Hey, how are you? Just FPG. Hosts. How can I list it as hosts? It's putting it as groups. My hosts are my. Should I have DNS servers, or should I have? I'm gonna have. They're gonna be. I'm gonna call them HA servers. And remote user root. I don't think I need to do that. I think it already has become. No, I don't need any of that stuff. And then I need role, right? Role. There is a roles path. Relative to the playback. Okay, by default, Ansible looks for roles of following locations in a directory called roles relative to the playbook file. Wow. In the configured roles path. Oh, wow. Look at that. Okay, that's some good information right there. So role, CoreDNS. Yeah, I'm just trying to use it to get my DNS stuff up. I've never done Ansible before. So yeah, I need to move that out of my roles and put it up here. What? I moved the wrong thing. Okay. Update Homelab CoreDNS servers has server. Hosts core. They are my control planes, so I'm going to call them. They're my control hosts. That's where my control planes are going to go as well. MATCD stuff. Role CoreDNS. Name Ansible apt. Roles dash role. Okay. Path to roles. Okay, we'll just call it CoreDNS. And I need to set up a group of hosts called control, and I don't know how to do that. Ansible Galaxy init role name function. No, I don't know what that is. No. Never seen it. Galaxy init. So that makes an Ansible Galaxy. Why do they have galaxies and football metaphors, science fiction metaphors and football metaphors together? It drives me nuts. How do I do groups in my host files? I'll figure it out. Give me a sec. Pre-tasks roles for a role-based under current directory. Oh, that's cool. I'll have to use that next time. Thank you. I'll definitely do that next time. Roles comment, role blah 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 vars. Host web servers. Okay. Host tags, blah blah blah. Web servers, role-based validation. We gotta go do host lists, and I know they're in here somewhere. Tips and tricks, loops, conditionals, testing blocks, handlers. Targeting hosts and groups. Ansible using patterns, loaded pattern. Where's my host file? Cosmonaut boot ball. Wildcards.example.com. Basic patterns, you can combine them. I want to make a group. Which is an Ansible. It's an Ansible INI file, right? Ansible host groups example. Let's cut to the chase here. I mean, I was just here. So I want to make a groups file. That's permitting. You can define a host or subset of hosts in a position by its position in a group. For example, given the following group, it's just an INI. Alrighty, I got you. I got you. CD Ansible. No, CD. Where am I going? Dot Ansible. VI hosts. Core. No, control. There you go. Eventually I'll read Ansible inventory, yep. Which is just an INI file. So we got INI and we have YAML in there, because why not? According to that last thing I was just on it, that's the way it is. This is not what we want. According to this, blah blah blah. Yeah, the Ansible. This is just notes on what we're doing. So, all right. So we got Ansible on here. Actually, I do need to update that. Wait. There we go. This needs to get updated. That's how I install Ansible, and then organize the playbooks, create initial host file. And then I actually had a problem here. So okay, so then I learned about groups. Because I'm messy about people. Drives people crazy how I learn. I don't care. In your get base folder. Well, we're not going to put it in the. We're going to separate the inventory file. It's going to be my dot files for my playbook. My playbook's not going to have any information about my localized files in it. So that, I mean, that was the recommendation, and I kind of agree with it. I think because technically someone else could make a host group called control, and then they could do it, and their IPs could be different or something. So, and then I learned about groups and added them all to a control group, since they will have CoreDNS, etcd, and Kate's control plane installed. All right, so I do want to try something though. I want to see if I could do this by group. Yep, apparently you can. All right, so that's good. So that's just kind of like how I did my setup. CoreDNS. All right, so now what? Now we need to do CoreDNS on all the machines. And here we go. We should be pretty damn close to it. As long as my group is set up. Hey, Matt. As long as my group is set up, and we have a control group, and we're going to run CoreDNS on there. And so we should be able to do Ansible playbook. CoreDNS.yaml, and have it do the thing. Role is not a valid attribute for a play. Is it roll or rolls? Probably rolls. Oh, it looks like it's doing something. Reachable failed. Cannot message, group add, permission denied, cannot. Oh, we forgot to do become. Cannot lock Etsy group. We need to do become. Yeah. I thought become was in it. Do you think that become should be, what do you think? Do you think that become should be in the playbook? Or should we put that in the main.yaml? You know what I mean? Rescue changed, unreachable failed. Become in your inventory file. Really? Consumer setup. Yeah. Huh. Well, it doesn't like it anyway. But this is good. We're getting someplace. Inventory. Yeah, I think you're right. So there is a become in the role. Failed to connect to host SSH. Oh, permission denied. Oh. No, we want the user to be the same, and then we want to do the become. I need to figure out how to get become to work. Change group add permission denied. Try again later. It's not elevating permissions. Yeah, I mean it did some cool things, but it didn't do the permissions to elevation. Wait, it says OK equals 2. What does that mean? One of them didn't work. The others did. 1, 2, 3, 1. Changed. False equals message group. Add permission denied. Cannot like Etsy group. Try again later. Name CoreDNS. Huh. Huh. Sudo systemctl. Oh God. See, I thought there were other ways to. So that didn't make it in. It did not work. I think it's because the user doesn't have the sudo elevation role. It's got a password related to it. Did you see the sudo error? I think if we put become in the inventory, I mean, we don't really, no, we don't want there. We want become. This has to be become. So this is a good playlist thing, because yeah. SSH keys. I'm using SSH keys, and it's all taken care of already. So let's try again. Close yes or true. Either one. Missing sudo password. Yay. Okay, so that means that I need to set up my account so that it has passwordless sudo. Which is fine. Unless I mean, is there a thing that gets to make it prompt you for that? I'm not typing on the fucking command line. I'll tell you that right now. I have a feeling I'm going to have to add that. I know how I can make this work. I just don't know if I want to do it. I just, make it so I don't have to type passwords. You can use -k to pass the password. Let's try it. SSH password. But it's not an SSH password. Oh, dash big K is a sudo password. Het comes to save the day. The Ansible Pro is in the house. Yeah. Oh man, this is cool. This makes me much happier. Yeah, I know. I have to. I know. I have to go get a couple hours sleep before I go back to work. Oh, I feel already much better. Oh my God. Het was just here enough to see me do my first Ansible failure. Okay, so the download failed, but so far everything else seems to almost have worked. I mean, that was much closer. So, what was the error? The error was it couldn't get this stuff. Name resolution failure. What was it trying to resolve? Oh, it couldn't do GitHub. You know why? Because it changed the DNS. I bet that was it. Yeah. I have a feeling it failed because it couldn't get it didn't resolve the DNS right. It's always DNS. Temporary failure in name resolution. So because we were changing DNS, I have a feeling that's what happened. It couldn't find GitHub. Yeah, let's go check and see if that might not still be the case. So, mini 3. See ya. So, yeah, set that show VI. Ping git. Yeah, see. It's because it went to resolve it and it didn't initially have a name I remember this because when I configured these boxes, they were configured. It's a chicken and the egg thing. Yeah. So I need to do I think my host file. Yeah, I'm pretty sure my thing is not here. Yeah. Oh shit. Sorry. Where are you? All right. Yeah. It's all messed up. So it couldn't download the file for CoreDNS because it didn't have DNS. But the other one worked because I got it working, right? So mini 1, I did this right, so it worked. So that was the problem. Okay, so that I remember what the problem was. That was when I was installing the system. It was asking me what default resolver DNS to use, and I put 127. So I have to figure out where that ended up. It's probably in my net plan. Yeah, it is. There it is. Uh-huh. And I'm going to copy this off. Name servers. See. Yeah, I forgot about this. I learned a bunch about NetPlan, and then I realized I screwed up the other one. So, unfortunately, I have to do that by hand. There's no way around that because reasons. Let's see, NetPlan. Yep, that's what I thought. Excuse me. I mean, that's really all I have to do is just add that one, right? Yeah, and now I'll be able to ping. No, I'm gonna have to restart. I have to restart network services, but I don't remember how to do that. I think it's not just network manager, right? It's NetPlan apply. Is it? Thank you, everybody. Yay! All right. And then my stuff should work finally. After this. Damn it. Name servers, addresses, 192. Uh-oh. Oh, that's right. My NetPlan's screwed up. I don't care, though. It'll still work. For this one, it'll work. Yep. All right. So I should be able to run my thing now again. I mean, as I understand it, it's supposed to declaratively update everything. So if I make changes, it makes the changes. It doesn't, like, you know. So you can make the... It's like Kubernetes in that sense. I hope that's true. I have a feeling this will be better. Looks better so far. Lots of Ansible on the screen. That looks like 100% okay and made some changes. I may actually have a DNS server. Holy cow, people. Hey, there's a cow on the screen. Yes. So I just installed CoreDNS on my 3 control plane nodes. God, do you know how much time I saved? Okay. I can gripe about Ansible all day long about the designs and everything. But as LBG and others have said, at the end of the day, I just saved myself by running that one command. Despite all the stuff I had to learn to get there, I saved myself crazy gobs amounts of time and learning that I would have had to go through. And I don't have to do that now. I definitely need to learn about CoreDNS and make changes to it and everything, but now I can change all 3 servers at the same time from the command line. And that is the goal of Ansible, obviously. So yeah, I mean, let's test it. If I have it. So we can actually test it by changing this server. That's a little tricky to do, but I could do it. Sudo vi etc. We can change this one, which doesn't even have DHCP servers. I mean, we don't even have anything in there. A new role to apply a config file. You can't run remove that config. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's if it, you know what, that's been a problem since the dawn of time, right? It's like it's easier to throw an entire operating. So we had a Kubernetes though that somebody was messing around with Creo on to try to test it in development, and it's like totally screwed up, and the person's gone now. Do you think trying to undo that stuff? So it's always easier to go back to a baseline than it is to try to undo what you did. Has anybody ever tried to? Uh, but it does that? Does it really? Yeah, it'd be interesting to compare, but yeah. Um, we need to. I need to copy this over. Yeah, I need to make an Ansible role or something for. Um, I don't like the word role, but whatever. Yeah, they're all kind of not fun, but yeah. Have a state to do that. A state where you go back to the state, and you go up to the state and back to the state. A state is the thing where you can say I am at this whatever state I'm at, and then it like keeps it at that state. Yeah, and that's that's probably the way you want to go eventually. But I mean this just saved me a bunch of scripting. Interesting. Yeah. I mean this is fine. I just need to test my DNS. So, I mean. Actually, I can do this. I could do one etcnet plan installer temp uninstall role if you want to do that. You could also do that, yeah. And then you would put both of those in a state, I'm assuming, right? At some point. So in primary tag. Okay, I get it. I get it. All right, DHCP true. We're still using true over here. We should probably get rid of it. What are we over here? I think I'm 44, yeah. I could probably make this static at this point. And then I need to change all these. I should probably make a role that pushes the net plan to everybody. Because I need to push the net plan to like 50 servers. You know? I don't want to get that wrong though. So hey, how's it going, Pritz? Yeah. Hell, I mean, I can copy that exactly as it is and just change the values. ENS 33. Um, 44 name servers. I mean, we can actually do this a different way. We can say dot 101 102 103, and that should be good enough. Net plan. No, I'm just doing, well, I'm doing CoreDNS. on my lab. So ping github.com, make sure I can still do that. Yep. And now we probably need to add a domain to my setup, and I don't have anything on there right now. Should probably do that. I'd like to add a host. That would be fun, but I think it's working. Is Dig doing the right thing? What's the new thing that replaced Dig? Something replaced it. I can't believe Dig is old. NS lookup is I've still done, but Dig actually also got replaced. There's like a bunch of new stuff. Dig's replacement for NS lookup, but it also got replaced. I'm telling you. There's something better, and I can't remember what it's called. I don't know what it is. I guess we'll still use Dig. This found it from 104. Yeah. What if I do lab.example.com? It's like there is nothing. Dig dog. I don't think it's dog. Is there a thing called dog? No. I don't know what it's called. I mean, I made a lot of progress and it applied it and everything, but now I want to add stuff to it. So the question now is, you know, if we want to make playbooks that are generic, then I mean, I don't think about it much. If we want to make stuff in, you know what I'm talking about? I'm kind of I want to make it easy so I can add a new host, and I don't want to have to rerun Ansible every time. I'm probably going to have to though. Local infrastructure, yeah, Homelab and it. So, yeah. So, for example, okay, so we separated out. We're trying to, you know, keep the specific things out and keep it in my dot files, in my inventory, we'll say. And we were trying to keep that separate from what is deployed in the recipes. But I have a feeling that I'm not going to be able to do that, because if I want to add, I have to figure out how to put the new additions to the, probably in the INI inventory. Like if I want to add a new DNS entry, I'm going to definitely need to do it in inventory. I think I just figured out what I have to do. I'm going to have to make the customizations for my local infrastructure, like the new DNS names. I'm going to have to put them in the inventory in a group or somehow. And then I'm going to have to access that in a playlist so that it adds those specific ones. Because I noticed that the creator of this particular one didn't do that. So they, you know, if you go into the templates, they didn't do that. So name server, and then they have CoreDNS service. Which is fine. But then the core.file file. This is the one relying on a bunch of Python code. Oh, hell yeah. We don't want to get talking about that right now. We already covered that earlier. We ranted like a lot. So, so again, Prometheus is, and if CoreDNS max zone is defined, CoreDNS main zone etcd endpoint localhost, Prometheus cache load balance. So these are all. I mean, why is it doing localhost 2? I don't know. So the bottom line, this user that we stole this from made this core file.j2 file match their core DNS settings for their infrastructure. And so you're already kind of cheating by having that there, I guess. So yeah. For IP and core DNS forward servers, TLS server name. It's just a Jinja template. For IP and core DNS forward servers. I'll check 5 seconds, Prometheus. Reload bounce. So I think I have to. This is where we put our DNS entries. No, it's not Bash. It's Python. It's Python and a bunch of stuff. Jinja and YAML mixed up. So what we have to figure out is how to add. This is a different problem, but how to add entry to core file, core DNS. And I don't know anything. I'm setting up my own DNS server. Yeah. So external. So this is all Kubernetes stuff. We don't want that. Kubernetes cluster.local. Lots of reasons. You have to go back and watch the beginning of the VOD. We talk a lot about it. Yeah, it's a problem. I think it's a problem. I think there's lots of reasons it's a problem, but I'm okay with it for now. All the core DNS information is all going to be about Kubernetes because they want to init. I'm actually running it independently. Namespace cube system and data core file config map. I have to learn core file syntax. That's all. Rewrite name. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to redo the. Yeah. And man, this is cool because I can do. God, this is like straight out of the NIC result or the NIC stuff, the whole bind stuff. RDB example. Yeah. Yeah, we also need to do volumes because of the pod template spec. Yeah, I don't want to mess with the Kubernetes stuff. What's up? I'm getting ready to wrap up here. I just installed and configured CoreDNS using Ansible for the first time. Not for use in Kubernetes, but also use outside of Kubernetes. So I install CoreDNS separate from Kubernetes. I understand it's installed as a part of Kubernetes if you do that, but if you don't specify it. But in my case, I want it to be independent. So I went ahead and did that as a thing. And now I'm trying to actually add an entry to CoreDNS, but I have no idea how CoreDNS works. So I'm going to need to come back to that later. We'll do that another day. So that'll be for the next time. I really have to go. So, yeah, this Jinja file here is somebody's personal Jinja file for dealing with Prometheus and a bunch of stuff. And I likely am going to want to pilfer from this, but I don't think this is relevant to what I want to do right now. Right now, I just want to add DNS entries for my Mac minis and stuff like that. So I don't have to deal with host files anymore and SSH config file hosts and things. So, and the reason I put DNS on here as instead of just using the router or something is because I want to mess with DNS attacks and creating software that's resilient to DNS. So I'm going to be regularly adding DNS entries and removing them and doing round robin DNS lookups and all of that stuff that you have to have to properly test a Kubernetes cluster, as well as the software that would run in there and stuff. So just round robin DNS all by itself is worth it. So to run your own DNS server, and CoreDNS is the one. So yeah, there we go. And yeah, we had our install work just fine. So probably time for me to do some more reading. I'm gonna go ahead and put this video up, get the upload started so people can watch it. It'll have to be tomorrow at 9. That's when all my videos break. Even if it's supposed to be 24 hours, but I just make them at 9 so people know when to come check. Hopefully Twitch doesn't mind that. So anyway, git add, git commit, why is it only Ansible? Add first, working Ansible deploy. Git push. So that's RWXROB / Homelab on GitHub. If you want to follow all of the work I'm doing in my Homelab. And I'm going to go ahead and end the YouTube video here. So bye-bye, YouTube. It was great seeing you. And I'm going to go work and sleep, and not necessarily in that order. So we'll see you later. Where is the button? Here's the button.